Salute, sir. Peace and blessings, fam. I just wanted to show off my shirt here. All right, see what it says. Without ancient Africa, all right, you wouldn't have these. Okay? Everything originated in Africa. Humanity originated in Africa. Science originated in Africa. Philosophy originated in Africa. Mathematics originated in Africa. And if you didn't know, now you know. Just wanted to hit you up with that. And I'm going to go to this little book here, A Brief History of Everything, where it talks about the insanity of Nazism. You know, it says, it talks about the development of human beings, right? And the different stages of human development and how you can have someone who has a superior intellect, but is in the basement morally. All right. That there's a huge imbalance in their development, that they're not developing, holistically. All right. And basically it says, flatland religion, all right, so to speak. Peak experience is a kind of peak experience. You get a glimpse of dimensions you might not be able to hold. Yes, and there's a related problem which is actually more devastating. The latter can develop way ahead of the self-willingness to climb it. Technically, we say cognitive development is necessary but not sufficient to moral development, right? He's talking about the development of yourself mentally, all right, that you can, be a super intellect and be dead spiritually or be in the basement morally, right? And he gives the example here. He says, and the same thing can happen with spiritual experiences, right? People can temporarily access some very high rungs on the ladder or circle of awareness, but they refuse to actually live from those levels. They won't actually climb up there. Their center of gravity remains quite low, even debased. And the example he gave in the first part, it says, basically a very bright Nazi. The ladder is much higher than the climber who remains committed to the lower rungs. It's one thing to tap into higher structure, quite another to actually live there. So what basically this brother's talking about, right? It's like a brief history of everything, talking about, the holons and the development of different areas of the human being. All right, that some people can have peak experiences, right? Like they'll take drugs and they'll have like visions of heaven and paradise and stuff like that. But that just gives them a glimpse. Or even in meditation, some people might, through meditation achieve what they call satori, or, not necessarily enlightenment, but a peak experience that gives them a glimpse of the mountaintop. But then they fall back down to their baseline. All right. And that's what's happening when we don't try to develop the whole human being. When we don't think in terms of the difference between moral development and intellectual development, when people oppress women and gays and, different racial groups and things like that, that it's a sign of their lack of overall maturity as human beings. Because to be a mature human being, you have to develop the capacity to love your neighbor as you love yourself. You have to develop the capacity, all right, in order to grow spiritually. When you grow spiritually, it's manifested in your open-mindedness and your willingness to accept others, all right, for who they are, where they are in their development, right? If you love your kid, all right, in loving your kid, you love all kids. all children. All right? If you love your woman, you love all women. All right? Because your woman is a representation of all women. All right? Your husband is a representation of all men. All right? That is the mature perspective or understanding of the fullness of being. All right? That's why who we are as the sons of Africa is so radical and revolutionary from a lot of other people and organizations that you might see out there. All right? We're here to condemn evil in all its manifestations, wherever it may be, whether it's in the heart of Africa or the belly of the beast, right here in the good old US of A. With that, salute, sir, and peace and blessings to one and all.